Hi everyone, how are you all doing? If this is the first time that you're watching my videos, thank you so much for being here. I hope that if you enjoy what I do and share here on this channel, you can consider subscribe and share it with your friends. I am Natalie. I am a Western tropical astrologer, and I use a whole sign house system for all my forecasts and readings here on this channel. In this video, we are talking about the weekly astrology forecast, and this video is about January 26th to February 1st of 2026. This is a very big week. I know as I am uploading this, it's like late Monday night in Pacific time zone where I'm living right now, and it's like Tuesday afternoon already in earlier time zone. But life has just been so busy and nonstop. I feel like it's just been always on the go, and I guess it's just my personality. I always put a lot on my plate, and sometimes maybe too much. Anyways, I feel like this is a very important week, so no matter what happened, I still want to come up and talk about it a little bit and upload this video. And please, I do always love reading your comment. Feel free to share with me how you find it, what you think about what I'm about to talk about this week. We have I think, in my own opinion, is a historical moment of us in this century, perhaps, because we are having a very important transit happening right on Monday 26th. Monday, Neptune will re-enter Aries, as Neptune was in Aries for a few months last year. But Neptune will enter Aries and stay in Aries, never dipping back into Pisces with retrogrades for the rest of the next 14 years. Neptune will be in Aries until roughly around 2039. So this is a slower planet. Neptune is a outer planet, is a generational planet that will bring in a wave of new collective energy, but also individually, as we all have Neptune in our natal chart in a specific house governed by a specific sign. And Neptune in Aries is going to mean a little bit different for all of us individually, depending which house is ruled by Aries in your natal chart. So check it out. So this is a very different energy compared to the last 14 years when we have Neptune in Pisces. Neptune is a sign that kind of relate to Pisces energy, so they kind of have not, I would say, a little bit of a mutual reception and also affinity in some way, because Pisces is that sign that talks about collective consciousness. You know, everything that we cannot see is the depth of the ocean, no boundaries, and it can be a little bit out of control sometime, right? It's compassion, it's spiritual, and Neptune also relates to all those topics. But when the two come together, like I said, there's always light and shadow attribute. When it's in the light attribute, it is the divinity, it is spiritual, it is about being compassionate in community with each other, and being in that collective consciousness that we are trying to raise each other up, to help each other, to be in community, right? To bring forth a more compassionate, more kind surrounding for all of us. But in the shadow side, it can be it's like the ecstasy and the agony. In the other way, it can be over idealizing the victims, and allowing that behavior to be extreme, which can lead to narcissistic behavior or spiritual bypassing, escapism, you know, but being having trouble to perceive what is real and what is not real. And when Neptune enter Aries, this is going to be a very different energy, because Aries is not a flowy sign. It wants to be fiery, it's decisive, even compulsive, right? Like I said, all energy has its shadow and light attribute. Aries is go, go, go. Aries is no bullshit energy. And Neptune in Aries is kind of this push and pull, because Neptune is like, ooh, what am I doing here? This is not very comfortable, because I am not used to this energy. It's not very different for me. I do not want to be on the go all the time. Just let me be, let me slow down, dream a little bit, and like get lost a little bit. But Aries like, no. So this can be sometimes a push and pull energy for all of us, whether this is individually or on a collective level, with the themes and topics that is ruled by your Aries house. But this is also a transit where you are being invited to dream a new dream, to take action upon your dreams and to bring them down into reality. No more procrastinating. It's go time. And I feel like with Neptune and Pisces, especially with Neptune and Pisces in the last couple of degrees, especially the energetic degree in the past couple of years, because Neptune traveled really slow, and with retrograde it was hovering at that last couple degrees in Pisces for the past 2 years, since I think 2023, maybe a little bit of 2022, but yes, since 2023. And that energy, having Neptune at the end of Pisces, is kind of like giving that last push, is having this extreme differences where on one hand people are starting to see all these fantasies, all these false idealization and ideologies, false dreams, and all these things that's starting to crack open and shatter and collapse, and we're starting to see the truth, because we also have that Neptune in Aries trying to bring in that new energy to. And the past couple of years with what is happening, we can also see those Neptunian dreams starting to fall apart, the illusion starts to fall apart, and the truth start to come out from the fog, and more of us are being awakened and to see the truth of what is really happening for us individually or on a collective level, with our dreams of having this idealistic government or system that is supposed to care for us and to care for the collective, turns out to be a somewhat illusion. And now as we step into Neptune in Aries, this is going to amplify more. Well, then the dream is starting to collapse. What are we going to see? What are we going to try to dream something new, right? And what does it mean for us individually and collectively? And along with Saturn in Aries as well, having Neptune and Saturn both very, again, contradicting this push and pull energy, both entering Aries, is really inviting us to question our personal responsibility, who we are, and what do we stand for. And this is about, well, then if things are falling apart, then who are you anymore? What's your value? Which side are you on? Is there even a side? Maybe perhaps it's time to not take sides and see it as it is, and it's time to dream a new dream and to bring forth a new side, a new perspective angle that is really centering collective care, right? This is about understanding each of our role in our individual life and as a collective, because no matter where you are in the world, no matter your color, your race, your belief, your whatever, we are all connected. It does not matter, right? What is happening in one place ripple out and can happen to anywhere in the world. We can see that so clearly. I really feel like having Neptune, and also for the first 2-3 years along with Saturn and Aries, that this transit is really asking us to go inward and figure out, what is our role. Our souls are so intelligent. Our souls decide to incarnate here on planet Earth right now at this pivotal time of human history. There's a reason. we all have a mission, we all have a role, and during this transit you will need to figure out what is your role and how can you show up in that role. And this is about there will be times Neptune in Aries will behave like this fiery, face slapping, punching and wrecking ball that is coming and pull you out from this Neptune in Pisces Lulu La La Land with all this idealizing certain fantasy or victims, ideologists, spiritual bypassing energy that is shattering, right? And so this fiery Neptune in Aries is gonna pull us out and allow us to awaken and perhaps see it from a different perspective. And as we continue to travel, as we continue to go on with time, we will definitely talk about this transit. This transit will be with us for the next decade, more than a decade. So we will definitely continue to talk about it. On the 27th, we have Mars conjunct Pluto in the sign of Aquarius at 3 degrees. Now, whenever Mars and Pluto come together, it can be quite volatile. It can be quite aggressive. Okay, Mars and Pluto comes together roughly about once every 2 years. That's how fast Mars travel and cross path with Pluto. And last time we have this conjunction, it was roughly 2 years ago, February 13, 2024. And since Pluto will be in Aquarius for the next 18 years or so, until 2039, 40, so we will be continuing our conjunction with Mars and Pluto in the sign of Aquarius for like the next 15 years or so. So Mars is about our action, our drive, our the way we take action. Is also the way we express our anger and aggression. It talks about war, violence, conflicts. Pluto is all about that deep cathartic energy. Is the underworld. Is about pulling things out from the underworld to reveal the truth. And having them together, like I said, it can be quite volatile. On a collective level, it can be social unrest. It can be escalation in violence, conflict, and wars. I know this is not something that we want to hear, but this is what is happening right now. And this can relate to power grabs because Pluto talks about power struggle and dynamics. But on a personal level, perhaps this can also be certain abusive or power struggle relationships in your life with someone in your life. And this can be a day where you can take this aspect to stand up for yourself, to stand up against your abuser, an oppressive person or the system. It can be a day where you want to fight for injustice, fight for yourself, fight for others, because this is in the sign of Aquarius, which is about the collective energy, the collective revolution. This can be a day where maybe some of us can go whistleblowing, can reveal something that is like, whoa, I didn't know that, wow. And this can be you go and protest, organizing, speak out. This can also be you take that energy to stand up, like I said, to a certain unfair situation in your life as well. One thing that I missed just now, with Mars and Pluto conjunction, we also want to be mindful with our bodies, with ourselves, right? Because especially when we are handling fire, hot objects, sharp objects, be careful. Take care of yourself, go slow, don't rush, right? Especially if you're in the kitchen, or if you're handling those things that I've just said, because this can be accident prone, especially if you have any planet or points near around the 3rd degrees in Aquarius. Now, I know this week has been quite daunting and can be a little bit just like, oh my god, this is so like heavy with the Mars conjunction with Pluto, and then we have that big historic transit with Neptune and Aries. But midweek, we have something sweet coming in as well. We have a Mercury-Venus conjunction in the sign of Aquarius at 14 degrees on the 29th. So this is a great aspect if you need to sign a contract, if you need to negotiate, if you want to debut, announce, or launch something. This can be a great energy to start, initiate, or begin a new creative endeavor, a business, a creative process. Venus talks about relationships, about our values, our self-worth, money matters, things that bring us joy. And Aquarius is the sign of the collective. So this conjunction today is also a great day to think about how are we, the relationships and the money that we spend on that or invest in people, things, right? Do they align with our values, right? How are they contributing to the collective? Or is it a product that is harming or benefiting the collective? Is it even good for me, right? I'm not trying to make everything political, but everything is political because of the choices we make in our life, right? The people that we choose to believe and support, right? The values that we hold. What kind of drinks do I buy? What kind of coffee brand do I support? All these, they ripple out. That's why everything is connected and it seeps into our relationships, right? I cannot tell you how much some of the relationship that I have changes because as I continue to learn and unlearn, there are certain things I cannot continue to do, or it just no longer aligns with my values. And people that is different from that, sometimes we just tend to drift apart, and that is because our values no longer align. And it doesn't mean that it's a bad person, but I can't, right? So this can be a day where you are reflecting on that as well. Wow, what a week. One more thing. As in, this week is not crazy enough with that historical Neptune and Aries transit. We have a full moon in Leo to end the week with a bang. So this Leo full moon is happening February 1st, 2:09 p.m. Pacific time, or February 2nd, 6:09 a.m. Hong Kong time. So just the time according to where you are in the world. The moon will be at 13 degrees 3 minutes in the sign of Leo, and the sun will be 13 degrees 3 minutes in the sign of Aquarius. The ruler of this Leo full moon, of course, is Leo's ruler, which is the sun. And the sun is right now all the way on the opposite side in the sign of Aquarius, which the sun is at its fall, meaning that it's not the most comfortable because it's the furthest away from its own home. So of course it's not as comfortable and powerful in some way, shape, or form. So in some way, this Leo full moon is also bringing up that energy of needing to take a step back to reflect on the Leo and Aquarius thing. Leo is about me, right? It's about, and Aquarius is about us, the collective. So it's this me versus us, this individuality versus the collective energy. And this full moon might be bringing up something related to that theme for us to reflect on. And this full moon is really inviting us to go inward, to reflecting on who we are, right? The Leo stuff. What makes us shine? Who are we in the core, right? What is your creative expression, your needs? What makes you feel like you are shining, right? What is your authenticity? What is your authentic self trying to tell you to show up in this world so that you can shine your light, right? Are you showing up in an authentic way so that people know who you are and what you stand up for? And this is also about how you express yourself, how you find that light, then shine it within the collective as well, right? How to be you, but also how to be you in community with others as well, because we are all interconnected, right? And with all the personal planets in Aquarius, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, we are also having this, like I said, this dilemma, this reflection about me versus us, right? Which is a sign, Aquarius, a sign related to the collective, being in the community. Then how can you do that? Having all your personal planet there is really asking you to question who you are and who you are in the collective. Do they align? Are they the same person, or are they not, and why, right? And if you really reflect on it, and if you really do the shadow work, it is not comfortable, because there will be time you find yourself that there are some values that is not aligning. And why is that? Okay, maybe it has to be has something to do with my ego, the way I show up, and the lacking. Why is there a difference, right? And this is also about then what do I see and how can I figure this out, right? So you need to go and question then, who are you in the core, and how do you express yourself? What are your values? What are your needs? And are you showing up in an authentic way? Because that is the only way that like-minded people can find each other. And this is how we create community as well, by showing up authentically. So like I said, the Leo part is figuring who you are in the core, and then bring it forward to the collective, to Aquarius side, where you can then use your talents and give your creative expression. Maybe for some, maybe this is even your fame, your platform, your resources, because Leo is the royalty energy, right? And it often relates to fame and success in the public life as well. So everyone will be different, right? And how can you use whatever I've just said to then show up, share with the community, and be with the community with others and for the collective, so that we can create a better world, perhaps, for all of us, right? Tarot card that is associated with this Leo full moon is the Six of Wands, which is the card. Look at that person, right? Riding in on the horse in victory, everyone worshipping, and wow, look at me, that attention. And yes, this is where the moon is. This is about you showing up as who you are, not a fake person trying to be someone that you are not, but this is how you win, right? This is how you win, by embracing your authentic self and let it shine, so that people that align with you can find you, right? This is not afraid showing up, but not to forget that on the shadow side is when you are catering just too much about yourself, you can also be very ego-centered, and that will pull you down from the horse, and no longer be in this energy of being myself in the collective, but more of, I'm just me and shining my light, and I'm on this high horse, and all you can do is just look at me, right? So this is about finding that balance as well. Okay, so I know this is a lot is happening this week, and perhaps some of us, not all of us, will feel all these aspects and energy, but some of us, perhaps this week, something really pivotal and important will happen and take place. And for some, this is a seed planting moment, right? Because Neptune in Aries is going to be with us for the next 14 years. It's not like we're feeling that energy every single day, but this is what is happening this week. I am sending you all so much love, full moon blessing. Thank you so much for being here to support this channel. Your presence means so much to me. So by subscribing, liking, sharing, it will cost nothing from you, but means the world to me. And if you're interested to do a personal consultation session with me, my information are in the description box below. You can also follow me on IG, where I post on Instagram as well. Until then, take care, and I will see you again next week.